Good morning. I am Lydia English. We are in Richmond, Virginia at the Cuba restaurant and celebrating 100 days of America Great Reads, and today is the 64th day. Today we are going to read and talk about Doña Bárbara, which is a book that our writer Rómulo Gallego from Venezuela wrote many decades ago. And it became very famous at the 70s and 80s. That was the time of the literature boom in Latin America, where many writers became famous. The importance of this book, I believe, is because it shows really the life of the native in that area, the power that owning land meant, and also traditions, love, passion, revolution, and all this growing between the colonist time to the present times. So Doña Barbara was a lady that everybody was afraid of her, because at that time they thought she was a witch due to the influence she had in men. She really wanted to control men around to do whatever she wanted, and she wanted to have land, and she appropriated herself of lands that didn't belong to her in no very legal ways. So Rómulo Gallego's Doña Bárbara, let me read you just the beginning, which is a very beautiful part, and I will read it in Spanish for those ones that would like to read the book in Spanish, or for those that are learning the language here. Doña Bárbara, ¿con quién vamos? First chapter. Un bongo remonta el Arauca bordeando las barrancas de la margen derecha. Dos bogas lo hacen avanzar mediante una lenta y penosa maniobra de galeotes. Insensibles al tórrido sol, los broncíneos cuerpos sudorosos apenas cubiertos por unos mugrientos pantalones remargados a los muslos. Alternativamente afincan en el limo del cauce largas palancas, cuyos cabos superiores sujetan contra los duros cojinetes de los robustos pectorales y, encorvados por el esfuerzo, le dan impulso a la embarcación, pasándosela bajo los pies de proa a proa con pausados pasos laboriosos, como si marcharan por allá. And there is another place here when they just start talking about an action. Aguaite, usted que quería tirar caimanes, mire cómo están en aquella punta de playa. Otra vez apareció en el rostro de Luzardo la sonrisa de inteligencia de la situación, y poniéndose de pie se echó a la cara un rifle que llevaba consigo. Pero la bala no dio en el blanco y los enormes saurios se precipitaron al agua levantando un hervor de espumas. This book is really very graphic, and it talks about all the alligators, it's caimanes, in the area, how guys were strong, their well-kept bodies, and how the hard work was at that time. But overall, it was a tyranny, because they really had to work from the time the sun came up to the sunset. So it was a difficult time, but full of passion, love, tragedy. And at that time when I read the book, the first time was back in my high school years. We had to read all these great writers from the 70s and 80s, and then analyze them, talk about them, see the time, the characters, how they really impacted our life. And what really called my attention was the description so beautiful of the land, the geography that we share. Colombia and Venezuela share the flat land, which is Arauca, and also how this strong lady, after the whole purpose of her life was to fight and control everything and gain the power over land, gave everything up for the love of her daughter. So I invite you to read this. We have 36 more days for the 100 day. So please read books, come to the library, wonderful place, and you are invited to participate in the program. Thank you.